answering all your questions about Dubai. What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. Happy Sunday. I'm sorry that last week we missed 1 week. I was determined that despite the fact I was starting this channel just before having a newborn baby, that I would never ever miss a single week of filming, and I haven't up until this point. But if you follow me on Instagram, you'll know that I said on my stories I came to edit this exact video, or the repeat of this video, and the sound was completely off. And it's just those times with content creation when you do it all yourself, you do all the editing and all the filming yourself, that you just think, why? It's so frustrating. But anyway, sorry I missed last week. Back this week and back every single Sunday thereafter. So please don't forget to hit subscribe if you want to see videos every single week, and give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoy it. This week is all about Dubai, so we're kind of stepping away from mummy stuff for the minute and stepping into the world of Dubai, why I moved here at 21, what I love about it, my advice for it, kind of answering all the questions that you guys sent me on Instagram when I asked what you wanted to know about Dubai, and there was a lot. I was actually amazed how many people were interested in Dubai. Ricky, turn the phone off. So I have my phone here to read the questions that you guys sent. I obviously can't answer every single question because there were hundreds about Dubai, but I have chosen the most popular. A lot of them were really common amongst a lot of people, so hopefully this answers at least 80% of people's questions. And obviously if you have any more, then please feel free to drop me a DM on Instagram or comment below here. That's probably a quicker way to get in touch with me because this is more of a growing platform for me. Hope you enjoy it. Let's get stuck in to everything that you want to know about Dubai. What did I not do before I moved, I think is the better question. I had so many jobs. I left university at 18. I went to 18 and then left about one semester in because I fell in love. I met my first ever boyfriend and he was living back home where I was from, and I just wanted to get out into the real world and start working and start earning money. So it seemed a bit like the perfect combo, and in addition to that, I wasn't really enjoying my course. So basically up from 18 years old, I've had several jobs, everything from marketing to PR to post-production to interning to being a runner to doing real estate. But my most recent job before I moved to Dubai was as a real estate agent in the UK. For some people it's a dream job and they make a load of money from it, they do super well and they love what they do. But for me, it was just cashing a paycheck at the end of each month. After 9 months of the job, I just woke up and thought, what am I doing? Like, I don't want this for my life. I don't want to just be in a job for the sake of cashing a paycheck. I really want to enjoy what I'm doing from life. I want to push myself. I want to wake up each morning excited to go to work, not dreading every second of it. It didn't ignite any passion in me at all, and I just felt like I was going to sell myself short. I was going to sell my life short, my education short, everything short if I didn't make a change in my life. Instead of just moving jobs as I had done 7 times before, I decided that I needed a much bigger life shift in order to push myself and discover new things and make myself uncomfortable with life and give something else a go. And to me, the thing that was glaringly obvious was moving country and giving that a go and taking myself out of the comfort and support I had of all my family and friends around me, who we all lived together in the same area that I had grown up for 21 years. The 2 places that I was deciding between were Australia and Dubai. Dubai was somewhere that I had been as a kid 2 or 3 times on holiday, so whilst I didn't know Dubai, I felt like there was some knowledge about Dubai as opposed to Australia that I'd never been to before. I didn't know any friends in either places, but my mum had a family friend who lived in Dubai that I was able to rent a room off for the first few months when I first moved there. To me, that was kind of a bit of a as much of a comfort blanket as I would allow myself to take. And then, I mean, let's not lie, it's beautiful sunshine all year round, but some of the sunshine you don't want because it's too hot, and it's tax-free. And to me, you know, tax-free was a very appealing choice in life, so I went with it. I went to Dubai and I thought, okay, let's give it a go. And also I felt like Australia was too far away. I wouldn't be able to come back and see family, and whilst I wanted to push myself and not move somewhere 2 hours away, that it was easy for me to come home at the first kind of hurdle. Dubai was far enough away to feel like I was making a big move, but not too far away that I still couldn't come back and visit my family at Christmases and during the year if I wanted to. I think I've kind of answered this one just then, but yeah, Dubai, the sunshine, tax-free life, the proximity / distance from home both played a factor, and the fact that I knew one person there. That was why I chose Dubai. I'm just gonna prerequisite this answer to say that I was never that girl to find boyfriends easily like that. So don't think that this just fell into my lap and it has been doing it my whole life, because honestly, Jack was my second ever serious relationship. So honestly, it was a combination of luck and also the fact that I had put myself out there, put myself in a situation to meet new people. And I think that is what is so key to actually finding a partner, because just as I was in the UK, you kind of get stuck in your same circle and then you wonder why you haven't met anybody, and that's because you haven't met anybody. So yeah, that was part of it. But I met Jack on my first weekend in Dubai. A guy friend of mine, Jono, had been to Dubai on holiday about 6 months before I moved there, and he said to me, oh, I met this girl called Charlotte, go and introduce yourself. So obviously, not knowing anybody there, not knowing any friends, I didn't have any option but to ping messages out on Facebook and just say, hi, I'm Carly, I've moved to Dubai, would love if you would, I don't know, meet me for a coffee, or can I come say hi? And the amazing thing about Dubai is that it has such an incredible expat community that everyone's really used to kind of just being welcoming and having new people come in. And because people also go quite a bit, it's quite a transient place. We want to make friends with new people, because if we don't make any new friends for 5 years, then in 5 years time we could have 0 friends left, because they could all have moved back to their home countries. So it's so lovely here. Everyone is very welcoming to meet new people. And Charlotte said, yep, I'm having some drinks for Dubai World Cup. Why don't you come over and join us for drinks before we go? And Jack was one of her friends. That is how I met Jack. He came in this really crisp white shirt and he looked really handsome. I was stuffing my face with salmon bellinis or like sausage rolls, whatever he says. I now don't eat meat, by the way. I just saw him and was like, wow, he's really cute, and the rest is history. But I feel like that's for another story, because I kind of chased him for 3 months, kind of didn't. Anyway, yeah, that's how I met Jack. So we are both working here. Jack is a shipbroker. He works from an office, and I do this full time. I do content creation, I do photography, I do blogging, I do Instagram, all of the rest of it, and that is my full-time job, and I do that from home. When I first moved out here, I worked as an intern in PR, which is actually how I discovered this whole world of content creation and blogging. Like, I never used to watch YouTube videos. I never used to read blogs or really go on Instagram. I don't think Instagram was even around back then. It must have been, but only just. I started work in PR. I was an intern. I was on next to no money, but I loved the agency. It was called Sticky Ginger, and actually the co-owner of the agency was my bridesmaid at my wedding. She became my best friend and still is to this day in Dubai, but I wasn't the best employee. And about 6 months into the job, I decided that I wanted to give blogging a shot myself. So I sat on YouTube for hours and hours and hours, Googling how to install widgets and how to build a website and all the rest of it. So I set up my blog whilst I was still working in the agency, because obviously I knew it would probably take a very long time until I could actually call this my official job. And I also got a qualification as a PT instructor, again as a means to earn money whilst I was building up the platform and getting better at content creation, getting better at photography and working on all of that. Anyway, that is the job I was doing in Dubai when I first came here. So I went from PR to what I do now. Oh, so many things. Dubai really is an amazing place. How I refer to it with friends and family back home is that I feel like Dubai is the land of opportunity. There is so much opportunity here, and everyone around you is here for a reason. As opposed to back home, when the people you're with, they're there because that's where they grew up. They didn't choose to be there. But everyone in Dubai has chosen to travel here. They've chosen to come here. They've chosen to take a different life path, make something of themselves, go after a dream, you know, just explore the world a little bit more. And so I constantly feel surrounded by inspiration, and I've met people from all over the world who come with all different backgrounds and all different stories, and I love it. I love it so much, and honestly that's what's kept me here for 6 years. I do go back to the UK a lot still, which is why I think I've been able to stay here so long, because if not I would miss my family way too much. But yeah, I think that's what's kept me here for 6 years. I feel like it's a land of opportunity. Everyone around is so in love, for the most part, so in love with their life, so in love with their jobs, feel like they have a really good quality of life, and it just has this beautiful air about it. Yeah, that's what I love most about Dubai. The sun helps too, let's be honest. I think it probably would have been different, but I don't think it would have been worse. If anything, it probably would have been better. I would have known myself a lot more. I was 21 when I came here. As I said, I'd only ever had one boyfriend. I'd had 8 different jobs, all for like 3 to 9 months each. I had no idea what I wanted to do, and it was just all about finding myself. But I feel with age comes wisdom and comes life experience. So maybe you wouldn't waste so much time, or I don't know, you would find what you wanted to do slightly quicker than I did. Either way, I don't think age is a factor here. There is people from all ages in Dubai, slightly less of the older generation, admittedly, because visas come into play in that sense. I wouldn't take age as a worry or a consideration. If that's something that you want to do, I would just go ahead and do it. Oh my gosh, Dubai is incredibly social. I mean, I feel like London is super sociable too. I don't know where you're from, whoever sent this question, but super sociable. People are out every night. There's loads of restaurants, bars. I have to say, I don't club here as much. That is one thing when I go back to London, I'm like, yes, I get to club again, because I'm not a fan of the clubs here. But apart from that, some of the most incredible restaurants in the world. In fact, most of the incredible restaurants in the world have been brought over here, but in addition, there's many, many more that have started up. And yeah, the social life is incredible, and I obviously came here single, so from a single perspective it's awesome. There's loads of people that you can meet, and I mean, single, in a relationship, they both really work here. The social life is great. No, you don't have to, but we did 1 year, and it's horrific. But basically rent works in a system where you can either pay 1, 2, 3 or 4 checks, and that's just part of the negotiation that you have with the landlord in terms of how much you're going to pay and how many checks you're going to pay it in. I feel like when I first arrived in Dubai, it was a lot more common to pay in 1 to 2 checks. I think the property market was much more in the landlord's favor, but there is so much supply at the moment in Dubai, and so many options of places that you can live, and new places being built all the time. I mean, we rent and we pay in 2 checks. That enables you sometimes to help drive down the price. But no, you'll absolutely be able to find places that you can pay for in 4 checks, so you can pay quarterly if that's what you prefer to do. As mentioned, my mum had a family friend out here that I was able to rent a room off for a few months. When you come here, one thing I would say is it's not like some other markets where you can book a place to rent months in advance. You kind of got to be on the ground, ready to go that week to present whatever you need to present in order to secure a place. The property market moves really, really quickly in that respect here. So I would suggest coming to Dubai, get yourself your tourist visa if you are planning on staying here. Better yet, come with a job. But you will be able to find a place really, really quickly. You could go on Dubizzle, which is a website here that people who have a spare room will post on, and you can get in touch with them, ask them about themselves and all the rest of it. So Dubizzle is a good option, or you can obviously go directly to real estate agents, of which there are plenty of here, and they will be able to find you places really, really quickly. So yeah, you need to kind of be on the ground. You need to be ready with a little bit of money up front. So your minimum would be a quarter rent up front, and obviously that varies completely in terms of where you want to rent. But actually I feel like you can get a lot more for your money in terms of space than perhaps you can get in other cities in the world. I feel like the market is kind of in tenants' favor at the moment. Honestly, this was something I was worried about because I'm a little bit carefree in that respect, but no, Dubai is actually incredibly, incredibly westernized. There are so many expats. In many ways, I feel like I could be in London. Obviously, there are some things that you have to be respectful of. Certain clothings, when you go into malls, you would refrain from any swearing or things like that. Just generally being respectful to local culture, but it is nothing to be nervous about. As I said, it's so westernized. There's so many expats here. It just feels like home. Maybe I was a little bit scared at the start, but that was misplaced. This question came up so many times, and I totally get why. Obviously making new friends, leaving your friendship group is one of the most scary things about moving abroad. Honestly, the best tip I can give is just to say yes. Everyone said that to me when I moved here. Just say yes. Just say yes to every opportunity that comes your way, and it really paid off, because yes, you will spend hours talking to some people that you're looking at and just thinking, we're not going to be friends. We're not the same person. But it's great. First of all, it's an amazing sort of learning exercise skill to be able to talk to anyone and everyone, no matter where they're from, no matter what kind of person they are, and create some kind of bond there or relationship. But secondly, you get the opportunity to meet so many people, and hopefully, as I now have, met a lot of my closest friends here. The best advice I can give is just to say yes to every opportunity that comes your way, and also really tap into your network of friends. From junior schools to senior schools to universities, we kind of forget how many people we actually know, and I guarantee you, wherever you're planning on moving to, especially if it's Dubai, there will be somebody who knows somebody who lives here. And as I said, it's super welcoming, so don't be nervous. Get in touch with them, be ballsy, and just say, hey, do you mind if you share their number or allow me to introduce myself on WhatsApp, and just send them a message and say, look, I'm new here, would you be happy to meet for a coffee? And most of the time people are really kind and very happy to, or would at least give you advice or point you in the right direction. If you're gonna move country and go with it all. You just have to embrace everything about it, and I promise it will pay off. You know what's actually quite amusing about this whole vlog is that I was never the kind of person to move abroad. If you asked any of my family which of the kids was most likely to move abroad, I would be so far down on that list, because I was such a home bug. I loved the comfort of my family and friends around me, so it's kind of weird that I'm even doing this video. And my answer to this question, which is yes, I certainly would love to eventually go back to the UK, but I do think for me it's been such a growing opportunity. It's opened my eyes, it's kind of developed my career, it's changed me as a person, and I'm so thankful that I took that risk and I took that opportunity and decision to move to another country. So given that decision worked out so well, I feel it's a bit silly to not even look at other options, potentially moving elsewhere. I would love to look at the US, that would be amazing, but obviously we're a little bit stuck with Jack's work because shipbroking is only prevalent in certain areas, so we are kind of stuck with those, and it obviously depends on where his company needs or wants him to. So I certainly wouldn't be opposed to moving somewhere else. I guess only time will tell. Of course, having Alfie has made the question of moving home or staying here top of our list, but actually at the moment in my life, my brother moved to Singapore last year and my sister is looking at moving to Australia in January. So for me, whilst I would be going home to my mum and dad and my brothers and sisters back there, I then still have half of my family elsewhere. So I feel as though the UK is always going to be there. It's my home. I will definitely end up there. My kids will grow up there. My kids with my sisters and my brothers and all the rest of it will all be together, and I cannot wait for that. But in a way, I'm not really in a rush just yet, and that is definitely influenced by the fact that my sister and my brother are now not going to be home probably for the next 2 to 3 to 4 years either, because that would be a big pull to move back. Plus, given what I do have the flexibility to work from anywhere, so I try to pop home at least 4 or 5 times a year, and my mum will come out to Dubai 2 or 3 times a year. Hopefully my dad comes out at least once a year, so I do get to see family a lot, and whilst it's not nearly the same thing as living with them, it does mean that when I do see them, I super cherish that time and make all the effort, and I adore it, rather than popping around for a coffee back home and maybe taking that time for granted. I don't take any time for granted that I get to spend with my family, and it kind of makes it more special. So yes, it's hard, it's really hard sometimes, but I feel as though after 6 years we found a way to kind of piece it all together, that it becomes less hard and it works for both my family back home and Jack and I here, Jack, Alfie and I. We will move back eventually, just not quite yet. So those were the most popular questions you guys all had about Dubai. I hope that was useful and gave you a little bit of an insight into why I moved here, what life is like here, and I don't know, maybe it inspires 1 or 2 of you to take that decision to move abroad to the next level and actually action it, because I don't know, I feel like for the most part you probably wouldn't regret it if it's something that you want to explore. I will see you all next week for another video. It's going to be a little bit more of a vlog lifestyle one. We're taking Alfie swimming this weekend for the first time, and I'm going to let you all know about the announcement that I wanted to talk about. the previous week next week. So yeah, stay tuned for next week's video and I shall see you then. Lots of love. Bye.